Hello and thank you for watching. My name is Rachel Barnett with Gentle Frog. I'm here to create videos for you to help you understand QuickBooks slightly better than you currently do. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please put them in the chat box. Thank you.
Hi. In this video, I want to talk to you about a quality control checklist that we've developed for our clients. Many of our clients are do-it-yourselfers who reach out to us for training. We tried to put together a very simple checklist, something that's going to be easy and not intimidating for people to follow. The purpose of this checklist is just to help you, the do-it-yourselfer, kind of review your own books and catch your own mistakes. If you're not sure how to resolve them, don't hesitate to reach out to someone like us or your bookkeeper if you have one. For this video, I want to go over the profit and loss section of the quality control checklist. So the first thing I say is please display your profit and loss report on a rolling 12 months monthly view. Let me do that for you. I'm going to go over to my sample QuickBooks. So I'm in Craig's Design and Landscape Service. This is the QuickBooks Online sample. On the left-hand side, I'm going to select Reports. I'm going to select Profit and Loss. It's going to default to something. In this case, it defaults to the current month. And I say, well, I really want to see the last 12 months. I want to see all of them. And because this is January, my last 12 months is just January 1, 22 through 12/31, 22. If I click Run Report, it's going to show me a nice summary. And I like the summary, but I really want to see it monthly so that I can kind of look for things, look for trends and anomalies. Because this is the sample QuickBooks file, I have a lot of fancy accounts with sub-accounts and so forth. To make it easier for me, I'm going to click on Collapse. It doesn't change my data, it just makes it easier to look at. So what I really want to do, and what I would want you to do within your own QuickBooks, is come over here where it says Display Columns By, select Months, and then select Run Report. Our make-believe company didn't start until September, but imagine that there's more data. Just enter the land of make-believe with me. Let me go back to my checklist. So I'm looking for values that are out of place. So let's talk about that. As we look through here, and I'm just looking left to right, I'm like, okay, we're good. A value that's out of place is, I don't like anything in miscellaneous, but like $2,000 in miscellaneous in December, like that seems very out of place. If I see a value that's out of place, the action that I'm going to take is I'm going to click on the number. It'll provide me a list and a pop-up. It provides me a list of transactions, and then I can say, oh, like this one, the insurance agency. If I click anywhere, the date, the bill, the name, you get the idea. If I click anywhere, it's going to open up the transaction, and then I can say, oh, I don't like the category. The category doesn't feel quite right to me. And in this case, it's an insurance company, so we'll just say, oh, that should have been insurance. And then we click Save and Close, and we change it. And nobody is the wiser that for one brief moment, our identical twin accidentally put something in the wrong spot. So go back to Report Summary. I'm looking through it. I'm like, okay, there's nothing else that I'm really alarmed about. Let's go to the next thing on the list. We're looking for negatives. So do I have any unexpected negatives? Well, discounts given has a negative, but that makes sense. I was billing someone some dollars, and then I gave them a discount on their invoice, therefore reducing my income. So I'm in the income section, but I'm like, oh, here's a coupon for $30. No big deal. All right, so we come down to pest control services, and this is a weird negative. We have negative $100 worth of income. It might be right, it might be wrong. I think we should look at it together. To look at it, we'll click on the number. Then we see it's a credit memo, and we say, oh, that's right. We gave someone in-store credit to, have a redo of something. So we go back to Report Summary. Not a problem. The whole point of this is to look for any potential mistakes that we have done when we were wearing the bookkeeper hat, as opposed to the landscaper hat or the consultant hat or whatever it is that you really do when you are not your own bookkeeper. So do I see any more negatives? I don't think I do. One quick trick, if your profit and loss is not as short and simple as this, you might like to know this. You can click on Customize in the upper right hand corner. you can say show my negative numbers in red, run report. It'll make it easier to spot your negatives. Okay, so let's go back to our checklist. We're looking for spikes. So do we normally spend a specific amount of money and then suddenly it jumps way up? That's the kind of thing we're looking for. So some things are going to happen. Insurance is a really great example of this. Where did our insurance go? It's right here. It's probably just that once a year we paid our insurance. And so therefore in December, huge spike. Some of us pay our insurance monthly and some of us pay insurance once a year. Same thing with software. You get a small discount if you pay for it once a year. Whenever you see a spike, you just take a look at it and say, oh, does that make sense? Am I okay with that? If you are, fantastic. If you've made a mistake, go ahead and fix it before anybody notices it. You're totally fine. There are no other spikes that I can see here. So I'm good. And then there's dips. So a dip is just like it sounds, like when the number goes down. Say, for example, and then there isn't a good example here, but imagine that your payroll is always a certain amount of money and then 1 month it goes way down. Did you have people on vacation or did you accidentally put some payroll into the wrong spot on the profit and loss? Say, for example, that you have software, office supplies, job expenses, like you have a pretty good sense of the things that are pretty consistent every single month. If one ever drops way down, it could be because you put the money spent in a different bucket, or maybe you're a really small business. Your company was short on cash that month and used your personal credit card to pay the thing. If QuickBooks doesn't know you use the personal credit card to pay the thing, you're never going to have the expense in here. So I'm just asking you to look for anytime something went up, anytime something went down. Only if there is a situation that you need to fix something or that you can't explain something, I want you to dive into it. Dips and spikes, these happen in real life. It's just, question is only, is there anything you need to fix? So look for gaps. Gaps are a lot like a dip, right? Imagine if every month you paid rent and then 1 month there was no money paid out for rent. Well, you probably paid your rent. Where did the money go in QuickBooks land? One quick trick if that happens to you is let me just make it a new tab. In the sample QuickBooks, the rent, the landlord goes to Whole Properties. So if we go expenses, vendors, and we go to Whole Properties, we can see a list of all the times we paid rent. So if you had accidentally categorized rent as the wrong thing, so let's pretend that you were looking at this and you said, oh no, I categorized rent as utilities when it should have been rent expense. You just type, change it to rent expense. It updates on your profit and loss. You're fine. Okay, so, merchant fees. This is such a big one. There are so many times that your merchant credit card processor. So I want you to think like Square, Stripe, all this good stuff. There's so many times that the credit card processor will process the payments where people buy things from you, and they will take their fee off the top and give you the rest of the money. There's so many times that I look at this and my clients forget to log the fee they paid to Stripe or Square or PayPal or whatever. And so I made it part of the checklist. If your credit card processor takes a little haircut before they give you the money, you've got to make sure to tell QuickBooks, my sales were actually some bigger number. And oh, by the way, I paid some amount of money in fees. It doesn't change the number at the very bottom. It doesn't change how profitable you were. It just makes sure that your records are organized correctly. Make sure you're documenting all of the money you earned, even if you didn't get to keep all of the money you earned. So that's it for this part of the checklist, the profit and loss section. Again, this is just from us to you. This is a checklist that we've designed to help you, the small business owner, feel slightly more comfortable navigating your QuickBooks and just to give you a little bit of ability to double check yourself in a hopefully not scary or intimidating way. If you have questions, if there's anything we can help you with, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comments down below. Thank you so much.